they got Crazy Bernie and Grandpa Joe as the two men standing. And unless something crazy happens at their convention in Milwaukee, Americans are going to decide between the leadership, 4 more years of the leadership of Donald Trump, or give the wheels of the car to Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders. After today, it may just be Joe Biden. Looks like we're gearing up for, in fact, the president tweeted out, today's going to be a very bad day, he said, for Crazy Bernie. It doesn't appear as if President Trump thinks that Bernie Sanders is going to do well on this Tuesday, this big Tuesday primary. 6 states, including ever-important Michigan, and there are some reports that Bernie won't win any of them, that Biden will get the majority of delegates in all 6 states. I said last week or 2 weeks ago it's too early to count Bernie out, and it still is. We got to see what happens today. But if Biden has the day that the polls are predicting he will have, it's probably over for Bernie Sanders. And, you know, I understand the narrative. I want to try to bring a little bit of calm and a rationale here to the argument that the DNC and the Democrats rigged it and stole it from Bernie. To tell you the truth, the process and the votes just weren't there. Bernie's supporters are vocal, and he draws a crowd, but mainstream America across the board is not going to vote for a self-described socialist. He just isn't ever going to get across the finish line. It seems to me. I could be wrong. He might have a great day. I don't know. I don't want to predict anything. I don't think the experts saw Biden having the great Super Tuesday he had. But it just feels like the momentum somehow is all at Joe Biden's back. But I've said this for years, and I'm going to continue to repeat, that when the Democrats use, by the way, I forgot to tell you about my new shirt and how to watch the show. If you are by a computer or a smartphone, we hope you'll subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm in a gift-giving mood today, so I'm going to, at random, not everybody who subscribes is going to get a free MyPillow. Some of you thought that's what we said. We never said that. We go in. Now, we're very generous. We give a lot of subscribers MyPillows. But if you find our YouTube channel, just go to YouTube, look for the Mike Gallagher Show, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to build up our numbers, and I'm not shy about giving things away and trying to bribe you. We're going to give a lot of MyPillows to people who subscribe today. So go check it out. You can watch the show, watch the video clips, see our monitors in our back window here, and enjoy the show visually as well as the audio portion as you listen to us on this great radio station. Just go to YouTube, find the Mike Gallagher Show, and we hope you like what you see. The jury is out on this shirt. I don't think Pavlina likes it, but she's always nervous about shirts that are too busy for the video stream. I think Derek and Lance like it. I think Eric doesn't care. Anyway, back to the Democrats. How about Nancy Pelosi? Civilization itself is at stake in November. Now, believe me, I think there are people who think this. They're a little kooky, but they think it. Here's Nancy Pelosi giving a speech at the Northeastern University's Women Who Empower Summit. This was in conjunction with International Women's Day, Cut 5. Here is an example of a Democrat overreach that could very well cost the Democrats dearly this November 3rd.
This election is a very important election. In my view, civilization as we know it is at stake.
Civilization as we know it is at stake. My gosh. So, to save civilization, the Democrats hope Joe Biden, I guess, will do it. Every day now brings a new gaffe. Yesterday, he seemed to forget that the Democrats are currently in control of the House of Representatives. Here's what he said yesterday on the campaign trail, Cut 1 from Fox News and Grabien.
Together, I think we can win back the House. We're going to keep the House, increase it, and flip the Senate.
We win back the House. I'm Joe Biden. I'm running for Senate. Give us you're poor, you're tired. You know this thing. Here's my sister, my little sister, Jill Biden. I mean, it's just day after day. It's sad, but I also don't want to get squishy on you because it's serious. Because I'm with the Tucker Carlson theory that there's a lot of deep state actors who are hoping a weak, feeble, out of step guy like Joe Biden gets elected president so that they can control him from the shadows of the White House. If we haven't seen what the deep state can produce by now, we never will. The deep state works with Democrats too. And there's a lot of people who hope the guy that needs to be guided from his car into the event, who's lost, who's baffled, who's feeble, who's making mistake after mistake, they hope he's the one so they can control him. Here's what he said about Mayor Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar, cut number 2, talking about their endorsement after they dropped out and endorsed him. Cut 2 from Fox News.
But to unify this nation, we first have to unify our party. And over the past week, we've gone a long way toward doing that. Mayor Pete, Senator Klobuchar, Beto O'Rourke, Senator Booker, Senator Harris, Mayor Bloomberg, they have done something that I think the press is perplexed with as much as I am, that they've all come out and endorsed at one time.
Announcer voice, nobody is perplexed that they've done that. Nobody is perplexed that the Democrats are lining up behind the establishment candidate. Nobody is surprised that Democrats are terrified of Bernie Sanders. Nobody is shocked by that at all. So this is where we are. We've got coronavirus concerns globally. It's going to dissipate. It's going to be like the summer of the shark. It really is. Remember the summer of the shark? Everybody was terrified of sharks there because the media decided to be terrified. You know, they sit around. Everybody sits around on cable news and the networks and say, all right, well, how do we get people all revved up today? Coronavirus. Coronavirus. Let's be afraid. And I am sad for people who have been battling through it. And there are people who have died. Not a lot of people, but some people globally have died. It's got to be terrifying to find out you just the word infected is scary. But ultimately, the reason people compare this to the flu is that an awful lot more people get sick and die from the flu than do coronavirus. That's just a fact. But the coverage makes you a little bit crazy. I've got a good friend who is absolutely acting completely wigged out now about not leaving the house. What about future events? What are we going to do? I don't want to touch people. Now people are saying, I don't want to shake hands, so I want to do the elbow bump. And then they're saying you can't do the elbow bump because that's where people sneeze, is into their elbow, and you're going to transmit. Calm down.